My name is Alison McLean. My business is a physical therapy practice that incorporates yoga into the physical therapy sessions as well as yoga classes and that sort of thing. At the time, before I started working with PT Web Secrets, I was a one-man show and I was nearing burnout only because to generate leads, I was teaching a lot of yoga classes at various yoga studios around town. So I was pretty much gone most evening nights till 10 p.m. And weekends. And I knew that to generate more leads through recommendations through Paul's group, such as Google AdWords or Facebook campaigns and various things, that I'd have to have a website that was functional, and I didn't have that at the time. It was time to do something different because I hit a pain threshold. There wasn't enough time in the day to generate the leads, and it was unpredictable leads that I was generating through yoga classes, and I had to physically be present, and I wasn't seeing my family, and when I would get home from teaching classes and work, I was just really exhausted. So I knew I needed another lead generation source. And I decided to work with PT Web Secrets because I had met Christine at some of the events. I saw some of the work that she had done just through her own postings, and heard really good comments and feedback in the group of other PTs that had worked with her. And truthfully, what really sold me on the decision was my initial call with her. She just, as Paul would say, she passed the give a shit test. She's just a really genuine person that listened to the problem I had in my business at the time, and helped me figure out a solution that her company could help provide. And so I felt confident that she would help to fix that problem. What it's been like to work with PT Web Secrets has been really great in a lot of ways, and a relief in a lot of ways, because I know now I can confidently spend the money on Google AdWords and Facebook campaigns and various things, and someone's going to come to a website that works to help generate a lead. So a person's going to opt in and take action, and I mean it happened pretty immediately. Once we got the site up, then I was getting opt-ins off Google AdWords. The other beautiful thing about Christine's company is her staff is always a pleasure to work with. I have different functions in my business beyond physical therapy, where I lead yoga trainings and a ton of workshops on an ongoing basis, where I need to always continually update my website. So I'll email Rebecca, hey, I got this new website, or hey, can we change this? Hey, can we do this? And she always responds to me quickly and checks with me, is this exactly what you want? And it's very efficient, and I always know when I send it off that it'll get done. And then also, there's so many things. So I really love, Christine sends out a couple blog posts each month that we can use on the site. So I like to send out a weekly newsletter with content so I'm not always just reaching out to my list for an ask. I really want to deliver content on a weekly basis. And as a one-man show, it's time again. And so that really has helped to offload some time, because I know a couple of times a month that I don't have to generate the content. It's going to be there for me. It's quick and easy. I get my newsletter out. So that's super helpful. And then also her weekly calls are really helpful too, because it's typically a really small group, so you can get your question answered. And even if I don't have a question, sometimes I'll jump on the call because it'll just hold me accountable to something I'm working on, or I'll generate an idea that maybe I was on the tip of getting, but I couldn't quite get by myself, and someone will say something or ask a question. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. So, that's really my life is like now after working with PT Web Secrets is I've actually just dropped a bunch of my yoga classes. So now I get home at 6 p.m. at night, and I'm using these other lead generation sources that I've been hoping to use. I'm using them to help me generate leads. I still teach at yoga studios and I still do workshops, But now I can pick and choose when I want to do it. I said no to the classes that were really draining me, that I thought I had to do because it was the only way I was generating leads. So I feel like I have more energy now to make clearer and better decisions in my business because I'm not getting home so late, and my husband's happy because obviously I'm home more and can just be with the family more, so that's huge. The website is bringing in anywhere around, on average, 10 leads a month, but it's more than that. I mean, that could be more, but that's on me because I'm learning Google AdWords. I just started the Facebook campaign, so there's tweaking to be done there. There's definitely room for improvement. So once I can work on those issues, then I think the leads, the opt-ins will be a lot more. However, because I do teach so much out in the public, now when a student hears my name or something and then they Google me later, I'm getting a lot more opt-ins from people that have attended my workshops or classes, and they're filling out forms where in the past that used to never happen either. So it's working even beyond just what I initially planned, which is cool. The website has helped me diversify my sources again, just because I don't have to be out physically teaching classes, which was unpredictable lead generation, and I had to be there. So I can still do that, but now I can choose when I want to do that. I can use Facebook, I can use, I'm also going to vendor events where again, people might not be interested at the time to take action. However, it just happened the other week that someone from one of these events, she just filled in a discovery visit form, and she opted in for a download. So people, when they feel ready, now I feel confident that they have a good place to go to get information, to learn a little bit more about the clinic and like the vibe and what we do there and all that sort of things. So they're taking action at their own pace, and I know I'm not going to lose them. If you're a PT and you're considering, revitalizing your website, making it really functional, I highly recommend PT websites. It's something that it's just invaluable. It's like that confidence that is always running in the background 24 hours a day. It's there where people are going to opt in, take action. It's that missing link. If your Google ads aren't working, people are coming to the site, because you have the traffic, but people aren't opting in. It's usually the website that's the problem. So if that is your problem, then I highly recommend working with Christine. PT websites was worth the money because you definitely get return on investment. You'll make back what you put into it a lot more, just in terms of, again, you won't lose people that come onto your website because there isn't that action button right there, or the message isn't clear. Like Christine's team and she helps you really clarify your message of who you're talking to, how it looks. There's so much that goes into a website to get a prospect to take action that's kind of behind the scenes, and as PTs, we're trained in skills and not necessarily website design. So to work with a professional, I'd been using Squarespace for a couple of years previously, and it's a huge difference. So it's definitely worth the money because you'll make it back and more. It's no problem there. If you're a PT, what you're missing out on if you don't work with PT website secrets is probably your time, because I remember when I had Squarespace and I was doing it myself, going it alone, and I was the one-man show in my PT clinic, I would spend trying to figure out the software, and then how do I want to put a button here, but I have to work within this theme in Squarespace. So I spent so much time trying to tweak it and then, hook it up to my email, MailChimp at the time. I just spent so much time trying to do that, and it still wasn't functional. It still wasn't really what I wanted. So you'll get your money back in time and return on investment for the opt-ins.